Let me know once you will start recording. And other, you have presenter access, so don't do anything like on setting part. Otherwise, we will lose this recording, and like we may face, other people may face while they want to do some revision or anything.
Yeah.
Abhishek,
So
so
I have started.
yeah, okay, fine. So hello everyone. I am Ravi, and I have total 7+ year of experience in IT industry. So mostly I worked on integration from my starting of career. Like I started with other integration like Oracle Service Plus, then Oracle SOA, and slowly I seen like Mulesoft is demanding, and in future also it will be demanding. So I thought to like it's a better time to move, and at that time, like 2 year back when I planned to move in Mulesoft, at that time the technology was growing up like very faster, and luckily I took my move at very right time. And after that I got lots of opportunity also in term of my career. And as you know, like Mulesoft is tool based, so I quickly learned this technology. And I was involved in multiple activities, so that also helped me a lot to learn this technology quickly. So it's for everyone. Like if you want to learn MuleSoft quickly, be involved in all the social activity what is going on for MuleSoft. Either it's a meetup, or if you have any YouTube channel or anything, you can write some blogs also. So if someone need any help or suggestion while writing blog, then Abhishek is best person for that. Okay, and if you want to be speaker and all, yeah, definitely you can reach out to us. Either you can reach out to me or reach out to Abhishek. So we will definitely help you to give opportunity to be speaker. Okay, so in that way, like I speed up my learning process. And after 2 or 2.5 year of learning, I am feeling very much comfortable with MuleSoft. And now I am feeling like what I learned in my last 5 year in other integration technology, I am like much more better in MuleSoft in term of like knowledge or compatibility. So yeah, definitely MuleSoft is very easy to learn, and we have lots of resources to learn. Okay, so take advantage of that. And MuleSoft Meetup is one of the best resource available on, like you can say. Okay, so be part of multiple meetups event, and be part of this. Like if you are getting opportunity to be speaker, take advantage of that. So in this way, like I started my journey, and now I think I am on good position in MuleSoft. And I am organizer of Hong Kong meetup. And today, like I was on the role of organizer, but yeah, due to some circumstances, like I moved as a speaker. So as a speaker, I think this is my first meetup where I'm like going as a speaker. Till this point, I worked only as a organizer only. Yeah. Fine. So if anything you will find, then let me know like in inside of like improvement. Definitely, I will try to improve myself. If you find anything, yeah, you are feel free to give feedback in chat. I will take that, and I will try to improve. Okay. So let me start
Ravi,
with
Ravi, are
yes.
you also working as an architect?
See, role wise, I'm on manager position, but work wise, I am working on architect position.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So first, like, what is MUNIT? So first person, we had already covered 2 3 questions where we had discussed a lot about MUNIT. So MUNIT is a testing process, like it automate our testing process. Okay. So now you will say like we have other testing framework also. Why not we will use? Definitely you can use other testing framework to automate your testing, but MUnit is inbuilt with MuleSoft. Okay, so it has lots of advantage and lots of capability to make your testing process faster and smooth. Okay, and it will automate your testing process, and it will tell about code coverage of your API. Okay, it will not only automate the testing process, it will tell you about coverage of your API also. Okay, so like as we discussed in previous discussion also, like we can do manual testing, but still why we need MUnit? So as I answer, like it will automate your testing process, and every time, like whenever you will do a small change, that change will be very small, but that will be connected with many functionality. Okay, So whenever you are doing any change in, for example, you are doing any change in system layer, and we have 5 process API that is consuming that system API, and that 5 process API is doing lots of business functionality. Now, if you are doing any change in system API, then it's your responsibility as a developer, or then it will be responsibility of testing team to test all the functionality. At least they need to do NIT. Even if there is a small change, like we can't go on assumption this is a small change, let it be, it will not impact anything. Okay, if you go on business, like if you go work for big clients and all, they are very much concerned about, like even if you are doing small change, you have to test all the functionality. Now if you do it manually, it may take lots of effort, and if some production issue is there with issue, okay, you don't have much time, so you can't do go with manual process. Otherwise, like you will breach the SLA, and there will be lots of escalation. Okay, so definitely you should go with this MUnit. Now you will say, is there like every project is using MUnit and every client is using MUnit? Then answer will be no. So till this point, like there are few clients, like even I have seen few clients, they are not using MUnit. They don't like since MUnit needs some development effort and all, and they are getting like their project is very much agile. They don't have enough time to go with this like writing extra set of code to complete MUnit and all. So that's why they are not writing this MUnit. But in future, definitely that client should think, whenever they have free time or whenever they have bandwidth, they must need to write MUnit, since it will also help them to automate their process. Okay, but yeah, few client, when they are writing their code, and if they don't have much time to do MUnit, since they have very tight deadline to deliver the code. So definitely at that time they will go with success scenario, error handling, logging framework. MUnit they can skip at that point. So I have seen few clients they are skipping this. But yeah, whenever they should have bandwidth, they must need to go with MUnit process. Okay. So now I hope everyone clear with what is MUnit, what is the advantage. Okay. Now, next we will cover this what MUnit can do, and we will see some MUnit message processor. Okay, and at the end we will see one demo also. Okay, so let's move to next slide. I already discussed like what is MUnit. MUnit is a Mule application testing framework that allow you to easily build, automate, test, or test for your integrated integration and API. Okay, same thing we discuss. Okay, coming to next slide, like what MUnit can do. Okay, so first point, create your MUnit test by writing MUnit code. Okay, you can write your MUnit code and you can create Mule test script. Okay, like we can write Mule test script and you can automate your testing process. Create your Mule test by writing Java code. Okay, so you can, okay, as I think many of you are from Java background also, so I hope most of you are familiar with JUnit. Okay, and this MUnit is very similar to JUnit. Okay, using JUnit also, JUnit is very much popular. Okay, and many technology using JUnit to automate their testing process. Same way, we use this MUnit to automate Mulesoft testing process. Disable flow, inbound endpoints, disable endpoint connectors. So like in a MUnit, you can do lots of functionality. You can disable flow, you can disable endpoint, you can mock outbound endpoint, you can mock message processor, you can verify message. For example, you are calling one external service. Okay, now you are doing this MUnit testing, so it's not always like recommend to call external service for this testing process. Okay, so what we can do, instead of calling that external service, we can mock that external service. And how we can mock? So in MUnit we have mock processor, like mock component. With the help of mock component, we can automate our testing process. Sorry, we can mock our external call. Not only external call, you can mock any flow also, you can mock any subflow also. So like you can mock multiple things. We will see what kind of thing we can mock and what advantage we will get. So mostly you will get advantage in term of like whenever you are calling external service, it's not always good practice to call external service always. Okay, so instead of calling that external service, we can mock the call of external service. Okay, and for that purpose, like we use this mock processor. We will see very soon. Okay, then verify message processor call. So whenever you are calling any message processor, so what we can do, we can verify that message processor, like how many times like we are calling that message processor, like and what input parameter attributes we are passing to that message processor. Okay, so with the help of this verify message processor, we can verify that. Okay, then other important point, let me take. Yeah, you can assert your flow exception, then you can spy your flow exception, you can spy your flow mulesoft components. So like this, we have multiple things we can do in a unit, and slowly one by one we will cover everything in detail. Okay, here I'm not going to take everything in 1 hour. I'm going to split in very small chunk, and I'm going to take everything one by one. Okay, so lots of things we are going to see. Whatever you can see in this list, everything we will see slowly. Okay. Now, MUNIT capability. So, like Mulesoft has this MUNIT capability, which like you can see like which version support which version of MUNIT. That list you can get through Mulesoft documentation also. So you can see which version of MUNIT is supported by which version of Mule runtime. Okay, so whenever you are writing a unit, you must need to check your Mule runtime, and you must need to validate your particular Mule runtime is supporting that Mule unit version or not. Okay, that compatibility list you will get inside. You will get in Mulesoft documentation. Okay, and like if sometime if you will not use compatible version, then you will get some like problem, and once you will explore that problem on internet, definitely you will get some blogs or some support ticket to resolve that issue. Since I also by mistakenly I used wrong version of this munit, in wrong version of with incompatible version of this mule runtime, I got error, and when I explored I got the region, okay, this is not compatible. Then I went through Mulesoft blog and I went through the list. Okay, that list you can easily explore. Once you will google it, you can get in first link only. Okay, next, MUnit message processor. So this will be very important part. Okay, so whenever you are discussing about a MUnit, so first thing, like why we use MUnit, that you need to know, that we already learned. After that, second important thing is MUnit. We have that MUnit message processor. Okay, so to write MUnit script or code, you need to use MUnit message processor. Okay, so MUnit has a set of dedicated message processor. If you want to see list, let me take you through Endpoint Studio. It's not coming mock. Let me take you through.
So you're still showing the slide. Are you showing something else? Maybe.
Oh, okay. I'm on slide. Okay,
Yeah,
just let me give 1 minute to switch my screen.
sure.
Hey, hi Abhishek. Meanwhile, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely you can ask your question.
So, let's say we have built a code that, let's say we have used a DB component, okay?
Mm-hmm,
And that DB component gives a response as like timestamp, right?
mm-hmm,
And if I am mocking that particular component,
mm-hmm,
so we use a peak processor, right? And inside that, we give attributes like doc ID and doc name.
mm-hmm.
So, have you ever encountered like if you try to select all the attributes that it provides, that particular component,
Hmm.
it gives the actual call and it doesn't mocks.
It doesn't mocks, like you're talking
Yes.
about only DB.
No, any component, any request component.
No, I tried with all and it was working. Like, are you talking about the recent version, like the current 7.11.1, or are you talking about some older version?
Yeah, from 7.8 onwards.
7.8. Like when you select all those. Okay.
Yeah, I
No.
have faced like these
Okay,
issues.
I need to check that then. Like, because generally what we do, we mock name and ID. We don't mock all, but
Correct.
we can mock like with respect to all the like all the options what we are getting. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so I need to try that whether that's behaving like in the current one also. But
So what I
generally,
have observed is if I
Mhm,
try to give only doc ID and doc name,
mhm, it works
it
fine.
mocks. Yeah, it mocks. So whatever data you have uh, posted in your source trace resources, right?
Correct.
So it mocks that particular data. But if you try to include all the attributes like config reference and all that, right?
Mhm.
It tries to give the actual and I validated by like I was getting a timestamp, like the current timestamp, and that's how I validated that. It was giving incorrect response.
Okay, then I need to check. I will check and let you know whether
Yeah.
it's work like that. Because see, when you mock any configuration, that means that configuration is mocked for throughout. If you are using in 2 3 places or DB, it is mocked for everyone.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, that is one thing. But this one I will check. Thanks for
Sure.
letting that know.
Yeah, just to add on, Sham, as like mock is basically we have to eliminate that particular processes to while testing, right?
All the
So we have,
endpoints,
yeah,
basically
yeah.
all the
So
endpoints. Yeah.
correct. So we have to like mock will ask you what is the identifier to mock it, right? So you have to intelligently provide the identifier. If you will go with the name only, might be the same name, or you
No,
have
no,
to
no, 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 Gajanan. So that's what, like, he's not providing only name. What he's saying, he's mocking with respect to all the identifiers. Now see, if you choose
Mhm.
a connector, then you can get ID, you can get name, you can get method. Now, if I talk about HTTP requester, suppose there
Correct.
you can get method also. You can
Mhm.
get path also. Like 2 3 options you get. So what
Exactly.
he's saying, like using all those options, like if you checkbox all the options which is provided, and if you mock, then he's saying like it is not getting mocked and it is giving the actual, like it is connecting to the end system basically.
Correct.
So it is
Mhm.
not about like name, but the thing is generally what we do, we mock it with ID and name, like what
Correct.
I personally do, just ID and name,
Exactly.
and I don't choose other option because ID and name is enough.
Yeah, right,
Correct.
right, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but his question is what if we mock all the things, like so mock with all the options, then how it works, because he's getting like when we choose all the options it doesn't work. So that is something like I will check and
Right.
get back to you.
So yeah, so that's why I'm saying the
Mhm.
mock will find you. Mock will try to find the identifier. If the it will violate the identifier. Suppose like the name, obviously name will be same, right? If you
Same,
just
correct.
select a name, right,
Mhm.
then it will not work. Similar way,
Uh,
the ID. If we provide a name with the ID, it means we have a two identifier. If these combinations will work, then it will work.
but
Same things we have to for the others option. Uh,
yes,
and we
no,
see that if anything is already with the same stuff we already have,
mhm,
or it's violating the skipping part, then it
correct.
will not work, so that we
No,
have to say.
but Gazanand, when we check all the options, in that we
Mhm.
are checking the ID also, and ID is a unique part. So
Correct.
even though we have checked other things, the ID is making that unique. So in that case, at all I am checking other part, it should work, correct? Because I'm checking ID also. It's not
Correct.
like I'm removing ID, but I'm checking other things. In
Yeah.
that case, we can say okay, there might be some failure because it is not identified that. But in this case, he's checking ID also, and ID is the most unique thing, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
that
totally
should work.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that should
I
work, but
totally
that is
agree.
something need to try because I have not tried. Or maybe
Yeah.
you can also try and see whether it is working
Correct.
for you as well the
So
same way.
Abhishek, one way to
Yeah,
trace this issue may be like if you shut down your internet, right, and then
correct.
try to run your MUNIT test cases, then uh,
Yes, it will give you error in that case
correct.
if you do that. So
And
now
if
suppose it is a success case. Just 1 minute. Huh? It is a success case, suppose, and you are writing a minute for success case, and you have a DB, and then if you if you disconnect the internet and if you try to do that, then it should return you error. If it is not returning, that means it is working,
It is mocking
because it is,
perfectly.
yeah,
Yes.
it is mocking perfectly. Yeah, sorry Gajanand, you are saying something.
I'm just saying, the identifier, and we need to check it's with the or with the and. Let's suppose we have four options for the identifier. It will check for name and
No,
ID and like that, or
in
it
a
will pick
minute,
only one.
we don't get that option. Like, see,
No, I'm just thinking about how it will be identified. It's
No,
with
it is
or
all
it's
AND
and.
case. In Aminit, it is all AND case. Like, I
Correct.
don't see it is OR case. It
Correct.
is all AND case. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that is little bit new thing which I got. But yeah, sure, Sham, I will try to that. Or maybe if Ravi have any endpoints calling any other end system, and if we can show, otherwise I will try it personally and I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I'm just
Thanks.
trying to make a point here is like,
Ha ha ha.
if we have an and query something, might be one of the properties is conflicting it. That's why.
No,
Then again, we
but
have to.
when we are using identifier, then that is completely an and thing. Okay, because
Correct.
we are giving option this and this and this and this. We are
Yeah,
not giving or. Okay, that will
correct.
not work. So it may be a bug. We are not sure, so I cannot comment that also. Maybe if Sham has tried something wrong, or something would be there which need to be tried. That's all.
Right. If it is and now, so all
Yeah,
the identifier
correct.
should be unique.
Yep, yep, yep.
All the identifier should be unique. Correct.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
see. Yeah.
Ravi. Yeah, let's see. Ravi.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thanks again.
we hijacked your meetup.
No, no, it's okay. Yeah, yeah. Actually, we want to make it interactive only. So if anyone has any doubt or anything to discuss, yeah, definitely we can take. So anything else? Anyone has any other query, or should I start?
Yeah, I think you can. Sure.
Okay, fine. So like we were discussing about this Mule MUNIT message processor, and as I told, like we have list of message processors. Here you can see we have list of MUNIT message processor we will use while writing MUNIT. Okay, so today we are not more focused on writing it manually, but you should have idea like what all this component we have. Slowly we will use each component. First we will use few component through a MUNIT recorder, and then we will move for this manual, like how to write manually and how to use this component manually. Okay, before like that we will go with recorder and we will see how we can generate this automatically. Okay, so next, as I mentioned, like we have list of MUnit has a set of dedicated message processor and to validate, assert, mock, and content and status of Mule message. So you can run automatically test again your MUnit application. Okay. So mock message processor we have, verify we have spy, we have assert. Okay. So list of you will be able to see here assert equal, assert expression, assert that, fail, mock when, run custom, verify call, spy call. Okay, we have list of after suite, after test. Like these all are operation and these all are like Mulesoft unit components we have. Okay, then we will discuss about few component what we are going to cover in a unit recorder, and once we will start this and manual one, then we will cover remaining one. So first we will use this mock message. So this component, a unit component will help you to mock data. Okay, so first I want to know from our audience, what do you mean by mocking? Can anyone tell me? It's not related to MUnit only, it's related to any, like whenever you are dealing with any technology, many time we need to mock. Okay, so I just want to know one scenario where you have mocked data and how you mocked your data. Okay, anyone from audience who want to explain this scenario, like what is mocking and in which scenario you use this functionality and how you achieved that? So we will able to correlate with our real world, like it's not only in a minute, we have many places we are doing this.
Mocking, I can say it's a faking of behavior of particular operation. So what is the input we are giving? What is the output we are getting? We are just faking it.
Yeah, it's like almost correct answer. Like yeah, it's nice explanation. Anyone else want to try?
Mocking means like it is a temporary URL which we are going to provide to the client applications.
Okay. And can you
In,
even tell me, well, like in which scenario we should go with mocking? Like what all scenario, any one scenario you have faced in your like IT career, and you took help of mocking to achieve that? Not in MuleSoft, anywhere.
instead of Ravi, instead of providing the original data, um, we will provide the dummy data to pass our test. Suppose if we want to connect any third-party database connection, at that time we don't have any access for that system. At the our API is ready and we want to test. We give the if we provide the mock data and we test it, we will save our time and we are ready with the test case. Testing
Yes.
with the for that API. So it saves our time.
Yeah. So may I know your name?
My name is Shankar Ravi.
Shankar. Yeah. So you have given perfect explanation of this mocking. Okay. So this is the use case like where mostly we do mocking. Okay. For example, we are calling some external system or like endpoint, and due to some reason that endpoint is not ready. Okay. Okay. In that case, what we can do, or maybe that endpoint is like we can't call that endpoint again and again. They have some limitation. Okay. In term of like their trial version has some limitation and all. So in that case, we can't call that end system again and again for our testing. So in that place, we will have one limitation. Okay, without calling that external system, we need to perform our testing or we need to complete our task development or whatever we have. So in that case, what we can do, instead of calling that external system, whatever response we are expecting from there, okay, what we will do, we will mock that response. Okay, there are multiple way you can mock. For example, you want to mock any REST API in your development, so you can create mock. I hope many of you are familiar with SOAP UI. So in SOAP UI you can mock any REST API and SOAP services also, and instead of calling actual service, you can call your mocked service from SOAP UI. Either it's a REST service or SOAP service. Okay, and you can complete your development or testing. Okay, so same way here MUNIT mocking works. Okay, so in during testing, actually it's not our actual implementation, it's not our actual execution, we are just validating our functionality. Okay, in that case, instead of calling that external service, we can find out some solution where we will get exact behavior what we are getting from external call, but at the same time we will not do external call. So this mock component will help you in that part. Okay, so what it will do, it will capture the response from external service, and whenever you will call that mock service, it will give you that response. Okay, so it will capture that response and it will store in some place. Okay, generally it is stored inside our test file, and it will like whenever you will call this mock service, it will give you same response what you are looking from that external service call. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, and this component will be very widely used component. Okay, so you should have good understanding, and many in interview also like people used to ask, so you should have good understanding in term of like implementation, in term of interview, in term of like understanding it. It's not only related to immunity, it's related to many other places. Everyone clear? Should I proceed? Okay, fine. Then verify message process. Okay, so this verify is just like so you can say like you are doing some verification process. Okay, it means you called someone, you are okay or not. Okay, and you like you are verifying someone. Okay, like this task you need to do, have you completed or not? Same way here verify message processor work. What it will do, it will validate a specific message processor. It can be anything, like it can be our flow reference, it can be our any transform message, it can be any other component, logger or anything. Okay, so what it will do, it will validate if a specific message processor has been called with a particular set of attribute for a specific number of time or not. Okay, so it will just validate like what and how many call with what request we are expecting that is done or not. If that is done, then verify process task is done. Okay, so hope everyone clear with this.
Ravi, I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
How to get the MUnit plugin or the module?
Okay,
I tried
that
to
we
add
will.
from the exchange, but I couldn't see it.
Okay, okay. No, you don't need to add from Exchange. I will tell you process how to do, and that
Okay,
will be like if you are talking about manual, I think most probably you are talking about manual one that we will cover in next meetup. But in this meetup, I will show you like how that module will be added automatically. Even in
okay,
manual also it will added automatically whenever you will generate flow. That like MUnit module will be dependency will be added automatically, and whatever flow and unit components are there, you will able to see all the component.
okay, okay, perfect.
So Ravi, like we can directly right click on the project and then we have a MUnit option, right? And then configure
Yes, yes.
MUnit Maven
Not
support.
project. You need to select flow or subflow, not project.
No, in order to add the modules, right? MUnit and MUnit tools module.
Yeah, yeah. You need to right click on flow or subflow, and then okay, let me show you. If many people are like curious about to see how to like okay, this project it got added since I did already. So let's say we have this. So I want to write MUnit for this particular flow. Okay, do right click, go to MUnit, and then if you want to do recorder, select this option. If you want to do manually, select this option. Okay, so it will generate one MUnit. Here you can see inside src test MUnit, this MUnit suite got created. It's a similar to Mule configuration file, how we have Mule configurations file. Same way, you will get everything here. And now automatically you will able to see here MUnit and MUnit tool got added. Like you don't need to do anything explicitly or manually.
Maybe
Are
you
you
can
clear with?
maybe you can show the POM also, like that plugin which automatically get added, Ravi.
Okay, okay, yeah. So like whenever we are adding any MuleSoft component, which is not like at the starting, okay, if you see at the very starting, you will get only these components. Okay, and for this component, whatever dependency you need, everything will be added in POM file. Okay, at the starting, your POM file will contain this HTTP connector, Mule socket connector, and this API kit module. Okay, at the very starting, and then slowly you will start adding MuleSoft component. For example, I want to use Salesforce connector. Then when you will include Salesforce connector, this dependency will be added.
Ravi, can
Then
you
I
highlight?
want
We are not able to see what you are showing. Uh,
okay, yeah, this dependency I'm talking. So by default, let me make it bigger. So by default, this three dependency will be part of your POM file. Okay, HTTP connector, Mule socket connector, and Mule API kit module. Okay, now whenever you will start adding more component, okay, then you need dependency. Like first you need to add that dependency, and this POM will help you to download related jar file. Okay, so slowly based on my project requirement, I added Salesforce connector and this dependency got added. Okay, and what this dependency will do, with the help of Maven, it will download all the related jar in my application. Okay, next I use this secure configuration property. So again, with the help of Maven, it will download this uh, secure configuration jar in my project. Okay, everything is written in Java, so all jar will be added automatically once you will add Maven dependency in the POM file. Okay, so Maven will help them to download. Next, I want to use MUnit. So for MUnit, we have this two dependency. Okay, this two dependency got added in my POM file automatically. When you will start creating your MUnit suite, like when you will create your MUnit suite by doing right click on your Mule uh, flow, then this dependency will be added automatically. You don't need to do anything manually. Then if you will use this assert operation or any other operation of MUnit, then that assert operation and this will be, this dependency will be added. At the same time, you need to validate. So this Mule Maven plugin should be here, okay, and MUnit version should be here. Okay, these two property, since these two property you will be using in your dependency.
Also, just to add, like if you see the dependencies for MUnit, you will see there is a scope test. That means this dependencies has been added for MUnit for testing purpose. Now, Ravi, if you go down to the dependency and if you can highlight the scope, so there it is written test. If you go down, yeah, this is the plugin which Ravi is showing, and if you go, yeah, like line number 140 or 133, the scope is test. Okay, so it automatically creates all this for you. Yeah, Ravi, continue. Sorry.
Okay, fine. So far everything is good.
Ravi, our API has 10 flows. Do we need to create for every individual flow, or is there a way to create at a time all 10 flows?
No, you have to do one by one. So
Okay.
Abhishek, let me know if I'm not wrong. I think we need to do one by one only. Means so far
S-
I'm doing
yeah.
one by one only.
See, now again, that's a part of your perspective, like how you want to do that. Ideally, we should do it. Each flow should be individual. Okay, but sometime if you want to see a like is our flow working correctly, like if I am calling from one flow to another flow, is that flow getting called properly, all the attributes and payloads are getting passed properly, then what we can do, we can make a chain of the minute testing. Like instead of creating it for two individual flow, in the same flow we can test it. Okay, but the ideal scenario is we should create separate test cases for separate flows or subflows individually.
Okay. Okay, Ravi and Abhishek. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So as we discussed, like verify, we'll just verify that the specific message processor has been called or not, and how many time it called, with which attribute it got called. So this kind of verification will happen inside verify message processor, and you can use this with the with any mule component like transform message, then flow reference, then wherever you want. Okay, based on like your requirement, you need to understand which component we should use at which place, and slowly like when we will start doing some exercise, you will come to know how and where to use. Then we have spy message processor. Okay, so this spy, I think anyone can like think about by name only. Can anyone suggest me by name what exactly this component should do? Anyone? Okay,
So,
fine.
so
So I
Ravi,
think,
let's
yeah,
say you have one component, right, that transforms something. Okay. So you have some data before that particular transformation, and you want that particular data to exist after that particular transformation. So you check with the help of that spy processor.
yeah, it's almost correct. Small modification is required, but yeah, you tried well. Anyone else want to try?
I believe it validate the input of the particular external connector before it.
Okay, yeah, partially it's also correct. Okay, so don't be shy and explain about spy. Okay.
It will check whether the flow is executed or not.
Not exactly.
It's
Not
actual
exactly.
payload versus expected payload.
Yeah, this is correct partially. Like, so simply in spy component, what it will do. So for example, you are calling any component. Okay. So what is your like what that component expecting in request, and what component like we are expecting from that component after processing. So it will validate what is going in and what is going out. So it will simply do spy on one mule component, like what it's taking as a request and what it's getting as a what it's sending as a response. So is it as per expectation or not? Okay, so it will do spy of before call and after call. So it's having similar behavior or not. So that is the main functionality of this spy message processor. And if you go theoretically, like what I got from internet, the spy feature provided by Mule and MUNIT allow you to spy what happened before and after. Okay, so it will validate what happened before and what happened after of that, call before calling that particular Mule component. This allow you to, among other thing, validate that selected Mule message that reached a specific message processor does so contain a specific payload or variable. Okay, so generally, like we can do spy on payload, we can do spy on attribute, like what is going in and what is going out. Okay, it's as per my expectation or not. So that is the main feature of this spy message processor. Okay, fine. So we are good. Next. So once you will write, like till this point, we have gone through theoretically like what all capability Mulesoft has, yeah, and Mulesoft MUnit has, and what all components it support. Okay, now next we will come to know like till this point we covered like how to write and how it automate our testing process. A part of this automating the testing process, it will tell you about coverage, how much Mulesoft component you covered in your testing. Okay, so this coverage report will be generated once you will write your MUnit script, and then you need to generate your report. Okay, so if someone already using MUnit and means either you already developed MUnit, or so it should be like a very hot topic, like what will be percentage of coverage. Okay, so every company has their own standard. They used to define some standard. They will write their CI/CD script in such a way until unless you will not achieve that coverage, your build will fail. Okay, I have seen many projects where they write their MUnit script in such a way, if you will not able, if your MUnit will not cross that particular coverage limit, your build will fail. And generally, this coverage, like every company, they decide this coverage more than 80%. Few company you will see 80%, few will 85, few 90, few 95, like this they put. Okay, and if you want to due to some flow and flow, like if you are getting like you are not achieving that coverage, or maybe like you are calling some external flow, like in MuleSoft, like we can create some, you can add some flow or subflow as a dependency. You can create one file, java jar, and you can add that file inside your Mule application. Like generally we do this for error handling and logging and all. In that case, it will be very difficult to write a unit coverage for those Mule flow or subflow. In that case, to achieve this coverage, what you need to do, you need to ignore that particular flow or subflow. Okay, and for that, just now we seen like if you have observed, so here we have option like you can write some unit, you can update your POM file in such a way like you can ignore few files. Okay, that script is not here. I need to like write here. We will see in detail very soon once we will start this. Once we will complete this manual MUnit, then next we will see what all things we can do related to MUnit in our POM file. So at that time we will see like how we can ignore flow and subflow. Okay, you need to define first what kind of file you want to ignore, and then you need to define file name also. Okay, and if due to any reason you don't want to consider any flow and subflow in your coverage, then you need to include that flow and subflow. You need to ignore that flow and subflow inside your POM file. Okay, so these all things we are going to see soon. So in MUNIT coverage, generally we see application overall coverage, resource coverage, flow coverage. These three things we will see when we will generate report. So that report will give you about all these three coverage. Okay, so next we will go with our demo. Okay, if anyone has any query, then let me know. Otherwise, we will go for demo. And any query till this point? Okay, so okay. Before going to demo, let me explain two things. So that like we already discussed, but I want to highlight this point. We can write a MUNIT test case or a MUNIT suite in two way. One is using a MUNIT recorder, another one with a MUNIT, like another one we can write manually. So today we are more focused on a MUNIT recorder, and next session we will be more focused on manual. In MUnit recorder we have some limitation also. Okay, so MUnit recorder, let's discuss some advantage and disadvantage about MUnit recorder, then I will go for demo. So anyone know any advantage and disadvantage about MUnit recorder? So first I am expecting from audience you can highlight some advantage and disadvantage, and then I will take if we are remaining with any, and then we will go for with the demo part. Anyone want to explain any advantage disadvantage?
Yeah, so the disadvantage is the flow should work properly. So then only we can use the test recorder. And the other thing is it should not be null. So those
It
are the
should
two
not.
advantages. The advantage is it's time saving.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
really quick.
perfect. All 3 points are perfect. Anyone else?
Yeah, Hari say we cannot cover error scenario. That's true.
Yes. So this is the one of the most drawback, and I think very soon, like this Mulesoft team should
Work on that.
work on that part, and they should come up with some solution. Since that is the one blocker. Otherwise, I think everyone is will after means once they will come up with this, then I think 90% project will start using this MUnit recorder. Okay, that is the one of the big blocker we have, or you can say disadvantage we have. It don't handle error scenario. Okay, in error scenario MUnit recorder will not work, or if there will be any error in your flow, MUnit recorder will not generate this test suite. Anything else?
So Ravi, one doubt, can we just debug this MUnit if you want manually?
Debug this MUnit, which one?
Like MUnit flows, can we debug that like our regular flows?
Okay, yes, you can run or you can debug, both functionality are there.
Okay.
Just to add, Chetan, even if we have several suits, now suppose in a unit test case we have 10 suits,
Mhm.
so we can ignore other and we can even debug a single one also. That is
Oh,
also possible.
okay.
We have an option for ignore others. Okay, and Ravi will show you in coming meetups.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, and one question, like it's not trivia question. I just want to know like how many of you are familiar with this. Can anyone tell me which version of like this from which version of Anypoint Studio and Mule runtime like Mulesoft start supporting this MUnit recorder? Anyone want to answer?
Mule 4.3.
Yeah, that is correct for Mule runtime.
And studio version, Shyam,
7.5, 7.5, 7.5 and above.
That part I also forgot. So
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
1.7.
7 point, after 7.5 or 7.6. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, what I can remember that is 7.7. But
No, what I know is 7.5 is the correct one, but 7.5
Mule,
was not used much. But after 7.5 or 7.6, let me also check.
yeah, Mule runtime, like I'm 100% sure that is 4.3 only. But yeah,
Yes, but I think 7.5 was the. Let
okay.
me
So
see.
whenever you are thinking about this MUnit recorder, so two, three things you first need to check. So on term of advantage, let's discuss one by one. Advantage. So first advantage will be it will automate your this coding process. Okay, so you can see like now coding is also got automated. You don't need to write a unit test suite manually. You just need to start this recorder and you need to configure few things and then it will generate code for you. Okay, first thing, like it will automate your code coding process. Munit Munit suite, it will generate automatically. So that will be big advantage. Second advantage, it will speed up your process. Definitely, if you are automate, if something is getting automated, in term of like if you will write a unit manually, you can do same thing in 1/5 time. Okay, a unit recorder, it's like I think in 5 to 10 minute process to generate one unit for one flow. And if you do it manually, then definitely it will go for 30 minutes or 1 hour. So in term of like time saving, it will take very less time. If it will save your resource, definitely if your resource is taking less time, then they can do other activity after completion of that. So you can see time wise, cost wise, then efficiency wise, everything is good here compared to MUnit, manual MUnit. Okay, so these all are advantage. In disadvantage side, the one of the big disadvantage for MUnit recorder, it will not work in error scenario. Okay, if there will be any failure in your code, that MUnit recorder will not work and it will give you error. So your whatever scenario you are for whatever scenario you are creating this MUnit recorder or MUnit suite, that scenario must be successful. Even if the target system is not working, any transform message failed, or any other component failed due to any reason, your MUnit recorder will not work. So you must need to ensure that MUnit recorder, before running this MUnit recorder, your flow is running smoothly or successfully. So that is the first disadvantage. Second disadvantage, MUnit recorder is not supported by all version of Anypoint Studio and Mule runtime. It started supporting after a specific version of Studio and Mule runtime. So Mule runtime part, I'm 100% sure that is 4.3, but Studio I missed. Either it will be
7.5. Studio
7.
7.5, and the starting version is 2.2.5. Yeah, Shyam also answered that. Thanks, Shyam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
that's what I remembered
So
only.
you already answered one trivia question. Okay, we'll give you some extra point. Okay,
Shyam.
fine. So yeah, so 7.5 and this 4.3. Okay, you don't try before that. You will not get that option itself. You don't blame Mulesoft like they told this feature is there, but I can't see that feature. So you need to verify. Still, there are many projects they are running below 4.3 and 7.5. Okay, so you need to validate what version of Studio and Mule runtime your client is using. Okay, so far I can see only two big disadvantage and three big advantage. Anything else anyone want to mention here? Then yeah, definitely you can mention. Any other advantage, disadvantage? Anyone know? No. Okay, fine. So like so far I think we are done with all the theoretical part. So now let me share my studio and let me write one MUnit for any one flow using MUnit recorder, and then yeah, everyone will get some practical knowledge how to write this.
Ravi, this MUnits covers only logical errors, that it will identify the functional logical related errors also.
I'm not clear with your query. Can you tell me again?
Suppose these units will find out only the syntax related errors or anything else like logical errors also it will show us.
MUNIT is not only for error scenario, it's for success scenario also. Okay, it's for success and error both scenario. It it will test your success scenario, it will test your error scenario. It's not only for error.
Yeah, both the cases we have. Um, suppose we have some syntax errors in the some of one of the connector, it will show that particular error, right?
You have syntax error, okay, and you are writing MUNIT, okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
write a
definitely. If
unit.
you are handling that syntax error, okay. So, for example, you are getting some data weave expression error, and you
Mm,
have written your error handling to handle that data weave expression error, okay. And you have written your MUNIT script for that error handling. So, definitely, if there will be error, your MUNIT will give you that report.
But Ravi, if you have a syntax error and if you try to run or debug the unit test, it will fail to deploy, right?
No, no. His question is not related to MUNIT recorder. He asked about MUNIT. Okay.
No, he asked about like syntax error, right? So in case of any
Okay,
syntax
okay,
error,
okay.
the application
If
would
you are
not
talking
deploy.
about like how means using a MUNIT recorder, if we are generating test script,
Mhm.
if there will be any error, no matter it's a syntax error, external system error means error. Any error, it will not work.
Okay.
okay.
Just the point is because of any error, if your API is not getting deployed, nothing will work. Okay, that's the main thing. Like now, see if you have error in your application where you have written wrong code or anything, then your API will not deployed. So if the API is not getting deployed, so automatically the MUnit will also not start. So your code need to be perfect, and then in that if you are passing any other error, like now suppose I have used concatenate function plus plus and I am trying to add null with plus plus. Now that is a payload error. You are giving a wrong payload or you are not handling that. Okay, so in such case your code is fine, you are doing the deployment, but the input which you are passing is wrong. So either you need to pass a good input or you need to have a good logic in your data web so that if it is null, by default it will take empty string. Okay, so that thing you need to handle it.
Okay, got it, Akshay. Thank you.
Okay. So let me start. I started my studio. Okay. Meanwhile, I have one query from everyone. Again, it's not trivia question, so don't expect anything. But yeah, if you definitely participates here. So one question I have, I installed my Anypoint Studio and I'm using latest, maybe 7.10, 7.11. So do I need to install Maven and Java explicitly or how it will work?
No, Ravi, no need to
No,
install that.
no need to install. We
Why?
It
Why?
we
already
have
But
is
in
built in.
we have inbuilt. Uh,
yes, correct. So Anypoint Studio has inbuilt Maven and inbuilt Java. Okay, so you don't need to install this Maven and Java. But what I observe, like whenever we are writing this MUnit script, then this inbuilt one is not working perfectly. Means I encounter problem many times. So if you are using this, if you are writing this MUnit, then try to use external Maven and Java. That will be not mandatory. If it will work with the inbuilt one, then well and good. If it is not working, then you can try with that one. And where you can change these things, can anyone tell me where I can change my Java and where I can change my Maven?
So you can go to Windows Preferences and then Maven.
I-
Correct.
In the environment, Ravi.
Yes,
environment
correct.
variables.
So here you will get Java one. So Java build, compile, debug, error, install GRE. So here you can see this one is JDK add embedded one by default one. Okay, we will go first with default one only. If it will not work, then I will take external one, what I have already installed. And second, Maven. So Maven you will get
Under
inside
Anypoint Studio.
Anypoint Studio.
this here. So here you can see use embedded Maven. So till this point I am using inbuilt one. Okay. But if I will face problem, then you can uncheck this one and you can take from your local. So you can see here it's pointing to local. Just I need to uncheck this one. Okay. So first I will go with this inbuilt one only. So this part I ensured like I have Maven, I have Java. I have already installed in my local also, and currently I am using embedded one. And you must
Ravi,
need,
I have a question.
yes.
Sometimes we will get this Maven clean package error, skip a minute. May I know the reason behind that?
Sorry. Tell me error name again.
Maven clean package error.
Okay, so as I mentioned, like sometime it happens due to your inbuilt one. Okay, in that case, you can try with using external one, like what you have already installed in your system. And if you want to check how like your Maven and Java is installed or not, so you can write Java minus. Okay, so I am using this 1.8.0. Whenever you are using external Maven and Java, you must need to ensure those two are compatible with each other. Those versions are compatible with each other. Okay. Again, you should not use any version of Maven, any version of this JDK. Those two versions should be compatible. So many Maven has limitation. Okay, this Maven will work on top, like after this version of Java. That you need to make sure from internet. Okay, and for Maven, I think Maven minus V. I forgot to check.
Maven hyphen version, same. That's
Okay,
also
Maven
work.
minus V. I think yeah.
Version also work. We also work.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to add one more point, as Dave asked, so sometimes that error also comes because of the target folder which got created in your API. Okay, so your API tried to delete that, but it doesn't work. So what you need to do is you can go to you can clean your project in Studio and you can go to your application and delete that target, and then you can try. Then that will also help you.
And adding to that also, Abhishek, the error they are talking about, I believe it's Dave's question.
Yeah.
Sometimes they face some issues with that. So that is related to your invalid dependency you have added in your form file.
Mhm.
So
No,
recently I encountered with that issue.
so yeah,
Uh,
that will be one point, Gajanan. That can be one issue. But yeah, sometimes what happens, suppose your MUNIT is working, it is working fine, but after sometimes it doesn't work and it gives you
correct,
error.
correct,
Correct. So that
correct.
is because of that targets, and even it is written in the console like cannot delete the target folder and all those location. Everything will be
Right,
given
right,
over there.
right, right, right. Yeah, there is multiple reasons
Multiple
behind it.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for adding that.
So,
Yeah, there are
correct.
multiple reasons.
Because recently I faced that because of I saw that there is some problem
Dependency.
with yeah, dependency part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
that error code, whatever he mentioned, that is not specific to particular error. For
Correct.
for multiple scenario, you will get.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sometime even I have faced it for the Aminet version as well. It that version automatically the version which it take it doesn't work with that, and sometime if we change it start working. So we just need to debug that what actual error it is giving in by the details or console, and we need to try 2 3 things, then it should work.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so fine. So far, I checked I'm using this inbuilt Maven, inbuilt Java, but still I say I checked in my system also. Like I have already installed, and my external Maven and Java is also ready. Okay, and like whenever you make setup of your system for this Mulesoft, you also must need to install Maven and Java in your system. Anytime you can use need that external one. Okay, a part of this, two other thing you need to do, you need to go in advance whenever you are installing Java. So you need to go to advance.
Go to my computer properties and then advanced.
That advance should also work. Yeah. View advanced
Okay.
system. Here environment variable, and here you need to create Java home. Okay, so this Java home you need to create, and this should contain your path of JDK library. For Maven, actually many places you will see you are using M2 home, many places you will see you are using Maven home. So that's why I created both. And wherever you have your Maven file, put that location here. So this three is mandatory. After this, you can see here path. Okay, path will be here also. Go to this path, and here you need to give bean path of Maven and Java JDK. Okay, so you need to create Java home, Maven home, and in path you need to provide bean path of Maven and Java. This one is more mandatory. Okay, that these two are not like mandatory, but these two you must need to do. Okay.
So Ravi, sorry to interrupt you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like it's
Yeah.
just for a manual for our Maven and Java, right?
Yes, yes, yes. If
Okay.
you are using manual one,
Yeah,
like if you are
manual.
using your external Java and Maven.
Correct, correct. That only that point we need that configuration. Other than that, the default one automatically will
Yeah,
work.
default one it's inbuilt one. Okay, so you don't need to do anything.
So if we want to use external Java and Maven, we need to uncheck those default ones there.
Yes. So here, if you see, if I uncheck this, then it's asking from where you want to take Maven. So I selected C program, this my inbuilt one. So if you go to my C folder, C program file, where is that Maven? Okay. So this location I have given here.
Okay.
But let me use default one first. Okay. If it will not work, if it will actually many time I have seen this gives error. Okay, but many time works also. Okay, that will be good. Okay, so far I think everyone is good. What we discussed till this point. Okay, fine. So what I will do now, I will take one API where I will write MUnit using this MUnit recorder, and we will generate report, and we will do some small discussion, and we will wrap up our session for today. So let me go with any one flow. Okay. Before going to this, I will start my this system API first. Let me verify everything is good or not.
So meanwhile, Ravi, this MUnits mainly helps to the developers only, right? Not for the users or any stakeholders. Only
Users,
only for developers only, right?
you are,
Developers.
yeah, actually you are working for that stakeholder only, for BA only. They are giving you business. They want this to be delivered. Okay, so you're like you are working for them definitely. So whatever you are doing for them.
Yeah.
Instance ID from property provider environment could not find. Okay, so local SAPI. I will explain this flow. I will explain one flow where I'm going to write MUnit, and then I will create MUnit. So, okay, we are going out of time. Okay, fine. Let's see. At least we need 10 more minutes to demo out one. Okay, so it's deployed. So what I will do in this application, actually, what I am doing, this API. Let me take any API. Let me first exchange rate, then implementations, upload, record payment. Okay, I will work for this API. So this particular exchange rate API we have. So what this API is doing? This API is calling one third party API to get exchange rate. For example, if I will pass base currency and current currency, my current currency is something like USD and my base currency is Euro, then it will give us exchange rate like it's a like 0 0.1 or something like that. It will give exchange rate. Okay, so first let me test that API from Postman. Let me see it's working successfully. So the exchange rate, service unavailable, localhost 8081 API payment INR.
HTTP, give HTTP, na?
No, it's not mandatory.
HTTP?
It's not mandatory.
Okay.
Request itself is not coming. Let me see what a host and port I'm using.
Yeah.
Localhost 8081. Okay. Payment SAPI. SAPI. Let me see other API.
Ravi, you can pass the argument gatekeeper
Okay. Yeah,
503.
503. Okay. This is again bug of this Mulesoft. Okay. Like sometime you will get this 503 service unavailable even if you did everything correctly. So simple thing, just Google it. This error is very common error. See, our speaker is active now. So see, help us to resolve one issue. Okay. This error is very common. Okay. See, I given 503 and it given me next suggestion. So you need to add one VM argument to resolve this issue. And this is a bug with Endpoint Studio. Platform get false, Mule 3 and Mule 4 this. Let me validate runtime command line. Argument tag, VM argument. I think we should use this one.
Ravi, you applied any policy for this API? No, right.
No. I think I did, but that
Clear
is
it
not.
always. It will work.
Sorry.
In general mode, the metadata we need to clear that endpoint studio.
Okay, you mean to say preference again? Like we have one option, not preference in
Yeah, in down
run
we have that.
configuration. Yeah.
Cache one.
Clear?
That is
Yeah, it's always only. I already selected.
By default, it comes as never, and we can change it.
Okay, so deployed. Let me test this. Okay. This one is payment reference ID. I want exchange rate. So here it's giving exchange rate. Okay. For example, I am using INR to euro. So 1 euro is equivalent to 83 INR. Okay. So this API will give you exchange rate. Okay. And functionality wise, if you see like how I developed. So here request will come to this API kit router. This API kit router will pass that request to this one exchange rate. Here I'm initializing some variable, then I'm doing start log, and then here I'm calling implementation file where I have written all the implementation. So first I am doing transform and I am creating one start time for this particular log. Then I am doing log. Before calling that external service, I am doing log. Then I am calling external service. I'm doing end log, means I started this external call, I ended this external call. And then I am doing required mapping. I don't want entire payload, I want only exchange rate value. So I'm doing that required mapping, and then go back to, we are doing end log for this entire Mule application. Okay. So what I will do, I will write a MUNIT for this particular flow. Okay. So what I need to do right click, go to MUNIT. Okay, here you can see we have two options. If you want to write it manually, then you need to select this option. If you want to write it using decoder, you need to select this option. Click on this option.
You need to stop your flow first. Try to stop this and try. And this is also like issue with recorder, like and sometime like it doesn't work like in some studios, then it give you issue. I've encountered it. Okay,
I
it
think
it gives
uh,
problem sometimes.
I think Abhishek, we don't need to stop the
No,
uh,
ideally what happens like when we start recording, automatically it starts your API also. Okay, and like and the settings like this test recorder, I've also faced the same issue what Ravi has shown you. Like we are using a studio and we are trying to do that, and in some studio it doesn't work. Then like what I did is I changed my studio and I worked with that. So
okay,
it's something about configuration or something, like your studio is not configured correctly in your system. So then also it gives a issue.
okay,
Yeah. So before going to that, let me clean everything. So this is the, like, again one disadvantage this MUNIT recorder. Like sometime will give you maybe related to your system configuration. But in same system for different workspace, I have written a unit. So ideally it should work. Let me see if still it
Yeah,
will.
sometime workspace or something, it gives some issue in between.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's running.
Okay. Everyone can do finger cross.
No,
Otherwise,
it
our
should.
demo will not be completed.
No, now it started. Then I think it should start.
No, no, don't say like this. I can't trust.
The thing is like, yeah, our server was already running, and we were trying to run again. That can be one issue. Sometime cache issue. A lot of things can be happen in that.
Yeah, yeah. For this also, like your system configuration should also be good. If you are running with i3, or if you are running with i5 with 4 GB RAM, then also you will get lots of problems. So at least try to maintain i5 with 16 GB. Okay, so it worked. Now here you can see, once you will get this pop-up, what you need to do, go to Postman, and then you have this exchange rate API. Okay, so call this API, go to here. Okay, it will give you this, something went wrong again, 50. Okay, whatever setting we did, it's wasting our time. We need to add same VM argument for this also. Before that, I will again restart, since I need to clean everything. So whatever VM argument we configured for run application, we need to do for a MUNIT test recorder also, since this 503 is not leaving
Yeah.
us.
Ravi, and for now, if you want, you can disable that gateway for some time now for this demo. Otherwise, don't know. Again, it will give an error for some configuration.
But from where, I don't know how to disable.
I just go and comment that part, na? The API auto discovery part. Just comment in your
Okay, okay,
configuration. I'm
okay,
saying that.
okay, 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 okay. You mean to say, okay, now I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
what you mean to say. Let me do it this time now. And if it will give,
If auto discovery enable, it won't work.
Yeah, like in Studio, you have auto discovery enabled, so the API doesn't work. So you need to either write this VM argument to disable the gatekeeper, or you can comment that, and then you can try.
That's why I asked in before only for about policy.
Yeah. So
oh,
policy is
okay, okay.
okay. Policy is like that
Yeah,
will
I
work
think I
with
applied.
API manager. Yeah, he applied that
Yeah,
one
yeah, I applied the client ID enforcement. Maybe that is creating problem.
using API
Okay.
manager. So he has used that API auto discovery stuff.
Okay. So now you got this pop-up. Go to Postman, exchange rate API, call this. Okay. So you can see here recording got started. Now recording completed. You need to click on this configure test. So here it's asking what file name you want to write for your MUNIT test suite. So let it be by default one. Click on next. Here you can see what all components I have used in this flow. For each component I am getting option here. So one by one, let's do for first component. So this is my transform message. So here we have three options. One option is disable, since we can't do mocking for transform component. That's why this option is disable. So first is it's asking, do you want to do anything? If you don't want to do anything, then select this option. If you want to verify this transform message, then select this option. If you want to spy, then select this option. We already discussed what is mock, what is verify, what is spy. So in this case, I just want to verify, okay, this particular transform got called or not. Exactly one time. Okay, as per my requirement, that transform must be executed one time. So I selected this. Second, what is this one is? Request exchange third party API logger. This is logger. I don't want to do anything with logger since that is not part of my business requirement. Logger is just for monitoring purpose. So I will select do nothing. Then this is request exchange rate third party API. So this is HTTP requester where I am calling third party API. So what I want to do, I want to mock this third party API. So here you will get multiple options for mocking. What you want to mock? Payload, attribute, variable. I want to mock everything. Okay, so I selected this option. Next, again this is logger. For logger I don't want to do write MUNIT. Okay, since that is not part of business requirement. If any business change will happen, it will not impact my logger, so let it be. And last transform message, let's say we are doing spy on this, like whatever we are passing to this transform message, like before call and after call we are doing spy. Okay, and I want to do spy on payload. I don't want to do on attribute and variable since I am dealing with payload in this transform. So I want to do spy on payload. Okay, once everything is done, click on next. So here you will get all the detailed description and click on finish. So what it will do, it will create one MUNIT test suite for you. Okay, so you can see here, this flow reference is calling that particular flow where I am mocking that external service call. Okay, and then I am doing spy on which component? On one transform message. So we are doing spy before and after call, and then we are verifying that one transform message. So for that we got this. Okay, you don't need to write anything manually. Everything got created automatically. If you will write same thing manually, it may take 1 hour or 30-40 minutes based on your fluency or confidence. But if you will do this MUnit recorder and every setup is done, it will take 2 to 3 minutes. So it will save you lots of time. This MUnit test script is complete for this particular flow. Let me close all other flow. So I written MUnit test suite for this particular flow, and now I want to run this and I want to see coverage and all. Okay, so for that, this MUnit will be created inside this src test MUnit. If you want, you can run all the file at a time, or you can run flow wise. So do right click and then run MUnit option. We have click on this. Someone asked debug, we have debug option or not. So here you can see debug option. We have both run and debug in MUnit.
Also we have an option of ignore test or ignore other tests. So like as I said, we have multiple test cases and we just need to debug one, and we want other should be stopped at that time, so we can ignore other tests.
Till this point we can do recording, and for error handling we can add errors after that.
Manually, yes, correct. So till this point you can write MUnit with the help of MUnit recorder. For error handling you can do it manually. Okay, so here this I run this. So from here you can run, or you can run from here also. Okay, MUnit run test, two options you have, and then you will able to see how many flow are successful. Here you will get result run 1 out of 1, error 0, failure 0, and inside MUnit coverage you will able to see coverage. So you can see here total coverage is 9.62% of entire Mule application, and which this particular flow has 100% coverage, other flow has 0%. This particular flow has 42% contribution, this one has 9%, this one has 26%, another has 9%, 1%. This one had 9.62% and we completed 100% coverage for this. Let me do for two more flow. So for this one done, let me do for this API kit router one. Okay. Okay, so this is done. So this particular flow is called by anyone. So you can call any, means whatever API resources we have, all resources will call this API kit router. But let me do it for this only since this is already tested. So again, recording started. It will execute the process. Now configure test, and then if you want, you can write this MUNIT on same flow what we have generated, and you can create new configuration file also. Okay, either you want, you can generate new configuration file, or you can write in same configuration file what you have already generated. Okay, so let me do for same. Okay, then click on next. Here we have only API kit router. I want to mock this, and I want to mock payload, attribute, variable, everything. Click on next, finish. So you can see here in same Mule configuration file, or you can say a MUNIT script file, we got first for this flow and second for API kit flow. Okay, now if you want, you can generate report for this flow separately, this flow separately. Like if you want for this flow, select this flow and do right click and run test, or if you want to do for both, then do right click outside. If you want to do for one flow, you need to select one flow. Outside, it will do for all, or from here also you can do for all. Okay, run directly this file or this folder.
Ravi, meanwhile, can you go to that flow, that API kit router flow,
API kit router flow. Okay.
yeah, main flow? Uh,
Yes.
can you right click there? Mule. Okay. We don't have any option in this API. We have three flows, right? From the all three flows are will call from this flow only, right? We can't generate
Yes.
three flows, I mean test cases at a time.
No, no. Definitely, you can call one API at a time from Postman. Okay,
Okay.
since it's running in local, so you should generate for one only, not all three at a time.
Okay.
So test recorder creates the MUNIT only for that flow where you right click and choose test recorder. So it's create only for that. It doesn't create for other flow reference or other thing. It creates for a particular private flow, subflow, or a flow.
Okay. Yeah, I think once we created individually for each flow,
Mhm.
We will have unit test cases for each flow, but we can run at a time all, right? We have that option, right?
Yeah, that's what Ravi has done now. He has done for both the see if you'll see run is 2 by 2. So he has got he has got two test cases in his suite in his
Okay,
XML file, but he has run both together.
okay.
That is
That,
possible.
So I mentioned the process. If you want to run both, then you need to do right click outside. If you want to run one
yeah,
individual,
and
then you need
suit
to
we need
select
to,
that and then you need to run.
yeah,
Or
got
you
it.
can run it from here also. You can select this file or folder, do right click,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to MUNIT and run test.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so here like we got coverage and this time 11%, 2% got increased from, or 7% increased from here. So total coverage is 26% and what flow we covered due to that it increased 7%. Okay, okay, not 7%, 7% of this particular 26%. Okay. So this is our coverage report. As I mentioned, it will tell you like a minute will automate your testing process and it will tell you coverage. So two things it will do. So I think I'm done with my part. Now this one is QA session. So next 5 minutes we will have QA session, and then next 5 minutes we will have trivia, and then we'll wrap up our session for today. Okay, it seems all good. Anyone has any query, anything till this point? Actually, see, in a minute we have lots of things. As I mentioned, I will cover everything in 2, 3 meetups. I don't want to be in hurry, so no one can understand anything. Okay, if I will, immunity is very big topic. Okay, if I will cover in one day, then everyone will get puzzled, and at the end, he will not learn anything. So
Yeah,
my
Ravi,
main objective, yes.
yeah, Ravi, we have asset message processor, right? Why we use that one asset message processor?
Okay, that I mentioned. Like, see, I don't want to take everything in one session. So today,
Okay,
whatever we covered lots of things today.
okay,
Yeah, if you have anything from this, yeah, definitely you should ask. Assert we are going to take in next session. Like we will
okay.
arrange one or more meetup. We will cover in detail. Okay, and then if you will not get, definitely you should ask there. Abhishek, meanwhile you can stop recording. So our video site should not be too big.